Hello everyone and hello Tuur. We are having a short interview here to encourage you to get into the topic of beer flavor stability and to give you some short overview on what Tuur has prepared as part of his e-learning material that is available on the EJD homepage free for the Brewing Society and for the wide public. So hello Tuur, thank you very much for joining us, and I'll ask you a few questions where you can tell shortly about what's in the article and invite the potential readers to follow you and follow the topic, okay? So
Okay.
first tell us a little bit about yourself, why you decided to write about this topic, what's so exciting about it, and why can it be interesting for the home brewers?
Sure. So first of all, my name is Tuur Mertens. I am Belgian, but I'm already living in Berlin for over 3 years, working here on my PhD. And this PhD project of mine is part of a bigger whole, a big project to which I'm also associated, called the European Joint Doctorate of Food Science project. And together with 6 other project colleagues, or as we say, ESRs, which is short for early stage researchers, we strive to serve the brewing industry by exploring some new ideas or trying to find answers to some unsolved problems. So every one of us has a brewing related topic on which we try to do state-of-the-art doctoral research. And a few of us, such as myself, are working on the issue of beer flavor stability. And we are working together on expanding the current knowledge and are trying to find ways to extend beer shelf life, or in other words, to extend the freshness of beer. And as part of this project, we had to write something helpful to the broad public. And since my topic is around beer flavor stability, I thought, why not write an introductory article about what home brewers, or any brewers for that matter, can do to their beer to prevent it getting stale. Because fresh beer is so much better than stale beer, of course.
Of course, of course. Thanks very much. Okay, so just shortly, what's the problem exactly about the beer flavor stability, and how your article and your knowledge that you've put together in this article can help the home brewers in maintaining their beer fresher for a longer time?
Yeah, so beer unfortunately has a major flaw, which is that it's inherently an unstable product. So this means that a beer will inevitably change over time. Freshly brewed beer will no longer taste the same after a few months, and the crisp flavors will disappear, and new flavors are formed. And more often than not, these new flavors that are formed are not pleasant. We call them off flavors. So in summary, oxidation can change a prize-winning beer to a just okay beer, or worse. So luckily, there are a few things that brewers and home brewers can do in order to prevent that, or actually in order to prolong it from happening. And many of these techniques I discuss in my article.
Okay, great. So just to give a, some kind of encouragement, could you give us one example of an action that a home brewer can do to actually make their beer stay fresher for longer time?
Yeah, sure. So I always say one of the simplest things to do is to drink your beer fast enough. That way you don't give it time to go stale. But that is more preventing the problem than it is a solution. So a really simple solution would be to always, from day one, store the beer cold. But that also means you will have to need a big fridge. And because this requires a lot of refrigeration space, it's not always a practical solution for everyone. So a brewer can also tinker with the brewing process itself. And that is where my thesis topic comes in, which is trying to improve beer freshness by removal of transition metals during mashing. So you can also read about this in the article that I wrote or in my research papers. But I will quickly say that these transition metals, copper, iron, and manganese, they can catalyze certain reaction mechanisms that cause the beer to get stale. So getting rid of them is a good idea in terms of freshness. What homebrewers can do in order to accomplish this is adding chelators to the brewing process. And tannic acid is a well-known one, you can actually buy it. But during my research, I also discovered another compound that potentially does an even better job, which is ellagic acid. And some homebrewers at the low oxygen brewing community are actually currently trying this out and are achieving some interesting results with it.
Okay, great. So your solutions are already trying to be put into life. Good to hear.
Yeah.
And could you tell us something more about the low oxygen brewing community and give us some more overview?
Yeah, so this lowoxygenbrewing.com is a website that features a lot of information on the benefits of brewing with as little oxygen as possible and how to accomplish this. In general, their goal is to create or try to create the most fresh beer possible. They also have a forum has a very active community that focuses on this kind of brewing. But the concept itself is not something strictly new. The topic of LODO brewing, which is short for low dissolved oxygen brewing, it often comes up also on other home brewing forums as well. So often you can see threads where people are debating about the relevancy of hot side aeration, for example. But my article that I wrote got hosted on, among others, on the lowoxygenbrewing.com website. And some of the members in the forums are experimenting with this ellagic acid, this chelator that I talked about. But also, this chelator can be used as a clarification agent because it also binds with proteins, so it helps to clarify the wort and beer. That is not something that I focused on during my research, but it's one of the fun little findings that happens when the community gets hold of something. So
Okay.
it's really fun to see that my research findings are actually being used like this. And as an engineer, it makes me really happy.
And it probably will be even more fun for the consumers to drink the beer fresher than they used to be. So everyone should be happy.
I do hope
Okay,
so. Yeah, that's the
okay,
point.
great, great. Thank you very much. I hope that gave some short view on what can be found in the article. Please tell us just in 2 sentences where the article can be found and invite the potential readers to read it.
Yeah, so like I said, you can be found on the Low Oxygen Brewing website, but it's also hosted on the official website of my project, which is egdfoodscience.com, if I'm correct.
Correct.
You can also find it on many other homebrewing forums if you Google my name or just flavor stability during homebrewing. And you can contact me. You can. It's also hosted on my ResearchGate account, and I'm happily free to answer all the questions that you might have.
Okay, great. I will put all the links and the contact info in the comments to this movie. Thank you very much for sharing the information. I'm Alexander Poreda. I'm the project coordinator. Thanks for seeing you here, Tuur, and we welcome all the readers to follow the topic. Thank you very much and bye-bye.
Thanks.